I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're uncovering the powerful journey from grief to spiritual awakening with an amazing author. Her name is Nelia Camara Pereira, and she has written a wonderful book. It is called Seeker of Light, a journey of spiritual awakening after the loss of a mother. In this deeply emotional and healing memoir, Nelia shares her heartbreak after losing her mother and the profound spiritual transformation that followed. Her story is a heartfelt guide for anyone navigating loss, offering hope, healing, and the reminder that even in the darkest times, light can be found. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Bookside Press for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. And be sure to download the Spotlight Network TV app streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Nelia, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much for having me tonight, or tonight for me. Good morning for you.
Exactly. It's all upside down here because you're live in Australia. We are live in New York City. So there's a little bit of a time difference. So we appreciate you staying up late to talk with us. It reminds me of the loss of my own mother. Losing your mother is such a horribly profound experience. I mean, I cried for days. I was inconsolable. And it's just a rough, rough time. And you never get over it. I don't think you ever get over heartbreak like that. You learn to live with it because you still miss those phone calls, you still miss those visits, and it's a hard time. Um, you wrote this book, I guess, to guide other people through that same hard time, right?
I did. Initially, I wrote it as part of my healing process with the aim to heal myself first and with the hope to heal others as well, including my two daughters who were coming along the journey with me through that really terrible, terrible time.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about losing your mother. She was sick with cancer, I understand. And tell us what that journey was like, because the end of the life is a tough time as well.
That time in my life, it was a roller coaster ride, Logan. She was diagnosed with terminal cancer. So there was a 3 month period where we were going to palliative care, coming out. She was okay, she was not okay. And I had always hoped, even though I knew it was terminal, that she would get better. So when she passed away, it really flipped my world upside down,
Mhm.
and I was in a lot of pain and grief, not only for myself, but seeing my daughters trying to navigate their healing, as well as being there to support my wider family as well.
Yeah, somebody said to me when my dad died, no matter how sick they were or how long they were sick, when they finally die, it's like they got hit by a bus. Because then
Yeah.
suddenly that reality is there and it's very sudden and it's very profound and it's very permanent. Your
Mm.
grief opened up a door to spiritual awakening for you. Tell us a little bit about that process and when things started to get better.
Okay, so that whole time in my life led me to question what is the purpose of life. I felt that everything I knew about myself, the world, others just came crashing down, and I was questioning my own identity. It led me to seek healing, I guess, modalities, so the spiritual path, and hence the name of the book, Seeker of Light. And so I just tried everything. I went to meditation, I learned how to do Reiki. And through that entire process and other self healing programs, I discovered that I could actually change the path of my life, the way that I viewed life, the way I viewed healing. And the best thing for me was just to sit with the emotions as hard as it was and process what was going on within me. And then using that to transform myself, find the joy in life, the real deep meaning that I'd never had before that moment.
Mhm.
So, mum's passing actually was a breakthrough in my own life to have a more meaningful life.
Yeah. And our parents do teach us lessons throughout our whole life. My mother died with a lot of dignity. She spoke to us all. She said she was ready to go. She had something nice to say to each of us that I remember forever. So it's another lesson in life your parents teach you when they pass, because we too will pass. And like you said, you started to sense your own mortality. Talk to us a little bit about what you mean by seeking the light and what it means to you.
Seeking the light came to me when I was writing the book. I felt that I was catapulted into this learning platform. I was never really into spirituality before. And all of a sudden, I became really curious about what this was all about and how it could help me heal. So I began seeking the light. The light for me was really a metaphor of healing, of finding deeper meaning and purpose in life. So I saw myself as the seeker of light,
Mhm.
searching and always searching. It's a lifelong journey. So that's why I called it Seeker of Light.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love the title, and it's very, very true. It's very, very real. My mom came to me a lot in dreams after she passed. Long conversations, very comforting. At times I would cry. Did you have any did you have any kind of similar experiences where you felt like you were in contact with your mom after her passing?
I did a lot of the times after she passed, and over the years, it's going to be 8 years since
Mm.
she passed away this year, and it's become less. But there
Yeah.
was some really profound moments where she was in my dreams, and I have found myself waking up crying, and it felt like the grief had cracked open again, and
Yeah.
that rawness of the pain is exactly like I felt at the moment she was diagnosed. And I think you're right. You never really get over the loss of someone like a parent or a child or someone you love.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're just going to miss them forever. They're a big part of your life, and you miss the special occasions. You miss the not so special occasions when you can just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, mom, guess what?" And I said, I don't want to cry, but I said the hardest part about losing my mother is nobody would ever look at me the same way again as my mother
Yeah.
did. I mean, it's such a profound love that a mother or a father has for his or her child. It's such an amazing uh, experience to have that love. And the pain we feel, I think, is an indicator of how much love we have for them as well. It's kind of the inverse, the more
Yes.
love we had, the more pain we'll feel. So tell us a little bit about what your best advice would be to somebody who is grieving right now, whether they lost their parent recently or maybe it was a few years ago and they're still hurting.
Just, I would give them the advice, do what's right for you, but mostly know that you're not alone. I've been through that pain and I still go through the ups and downs of it. It comes and it goes.
Mm,
But give yourself the permission to feel, to reach out to someone. One of the greatest lessons I've learned on my journey, Logan, is connection with others.
mhm.
Before mum passed away, I was very much a very solitude person. I was always leading, always doing my thing. And I learned afterwards I needed to ask for help. I needed to ask for support and I needed to connect with others. And that's really helped me greatly on my journey. And I think it would help a lot of people.
Yeah, and you mentioned you had children as well. They must have been really helpful. My children were super comforting at the time. Tell us a little bit about what that connection was like. And you're their mom. I mean, so again, that's the circle of life that's playing out. You lose your mother, but you're their mother still, and you have to be strong and you have to carry on despite the pain, right?
That's right. I actually found that really difficult because you said it. When you lose a parent, no one's ever going to love you that way.
Mm.
And so I felt I'd lost the matriarch of our family, yet I had to be that for my children. And I became worried that they were going to look to me to fill the hole in our lives that my mother had filled prior to her passing. And I felt there was a big weight on my shoulders. And I think in the end, I surrendered that and just really showed up as myself and loved my children as much as I could. And just explaining to them no one can ever replace their grandmother, and helping them through just to be themselves as well.
Yeah. What spiritual practices or beliefs supported you most, do you feel, during your healing?
The most was actually really feeling that there's something greater than anything I've ever believed in. And I know some people might call it God or whatever they want to call it.
Mhm.
I don't really have a name for it, but I do believe there is something divine at play. And I've had a lot of experiences to help strengthen my belief. And in that, it's helped me also just really process the grief in a different way and allow me to really find the magic in life. So that's really helped me.
Absolutely. Believing in something, whether you believe in Jesus or God or Allah or spirituality or a creator, whatever it is, having that faith does sustain you. Believing in the eternal nature of life does sustain you. For me, my religion was very, very helpful during that time. It was a shield. And you need to comfort yourself during that time. You're extremely vulnerable, you're hurting, your emotions are raw, your heart is broken, your children are comforting, other family members or friends can be comforting. And I guess also for you, writing this book was comforting. It started out kind of as a journal and then turned into a book.
It did. And it was comforting, but also too, it was so raw to relive every moment all over again. And after I'd finished writing the book and it became published, I was absolutely depleted emotionally,
Mhm.
mentally, and physically. And then COVID hit. So I never was able to give the book the light it deserved in terms of marketing and publishing.
Mm.
It was published, but to market it, I just had nothing left to give. And COVID took up about 3 years of our life here in Melbourne
Yeah.
with the longest lockdowns. And now I'm bringing it all back to life and giving it the light it deserves.
Wonderful. Well, we're glad to see this book brought into the light because it's an important book. We're all going to go through it, whether it's a loss of a parent, a spouse, whatever it is. It's all kind of the same pain. It's that pain of permanency, that pain of lost
Mhm.
love. And this book will help people turn around their heart, turn around their emotions, and find some peace. The name of the book is Seeker of Light, A Journey of Spiritual Awakening After the Loss of a Mother. In this deeply emotional and healing memoir, Nelia shares her heartbreak after losing her mother to terminal cancer and the profound spiritual transformation that followed. Her story is a heartfelt guide for anyone navigating loss, offering hope, healing, and the reminder that even in the darkest times, light can be found. Nelia, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Logan. And I do hope the readers find what they need in my book. Thank you so much.
I absolutely think they will find that comfort and that peace and that healing without a doubt. I appreciate your insight and your wisdom today to the folks at home. I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.